Hello and welcome to another game of the women's division where we see Solebang from Switzerland are taking on Queen Kong from France. We are, of course, in Grenoble for the spring tour. And, as we are watching the preparations of both of the teams to start that game. I'm Dmitry Doroshenko, happy to bring you that game. Should be quite an interesting match. I've been looking at the results of the previous games for both of these teams. Both of the teams have played 2 games so far in this tournament. Solebang have lost to Catchup 2-15 earlier today and lost 3-13 to Tequila Boom Boom. Tequila Boom Boom has also won against Queen Kong, who we are going to see in this game, and Queen Kong lost to Jetset LUV 6-9. Unfortunately, both of the teams are coming to this game with 2 losses, and probably going to be looking at their first win on in this game. Right, once again, welcome to this game as we see Solebang and Queen Kong. The Swiss team and the French team are starting their game. Both of these teams have came from 2 losses, and they will be looking at their first win in this tournament in the spring tour. Hopefully you can hear me well, and we see the discus moving. Ooh, very, very close defense there, but not quite coming down with it. But still, the offense is still moving the disc quite well, moving it around, looking for something, but still just swinging the disc around for the moment. And now, oh, is it gonna? Ooh, great grab there near the far sideline. Very difficult catch for the player there. Another swing and another swing. Lots of defensive pressure, of course. As I said, both of these teams would like to get a win in this game, but that disc, unfortunately, yeah, there was a bit of a miscommunication, and that disc hits the ground near the end zone line, and now the counter attack is trying to, once again, a very, very tight channel, but disc is moving around very quickly there. Lots of mark. Everything goes, hands, legs, feet, but another swing and moving backwards a little bit. Ooh, that's a floater, and ooh, well held on to. Now disc on the near sideline. Looking for options, needs to go back, and that disc again jumps in the wind, but once again, great grab and into the end zone I think the defender there maybe was just enough in the field of vision and managed to interfere with the catch there, so another opportunity there. And another turnover, unfortunately. Right, let's see, the disc is now in the red zone, trying to organize something. The handler is signaling and trying to organize some kind of a stack, but this is also just off the fingertips of the player there. Unfortunately, I cannot see the numbers very well, so I'm not able to tell you who that was. And once again, there is another opportunity for an offensive hold. Very, very close defensive pressure, but yeah, players there managing to hold on to this disc, and that might be too far. Yeah, just a little bit too far, despite the bid. Very, very good try, but yeah, visibly see that this point is quite a tiring one, quite a long one for both of the teams, and we will see, of course, if the timeout is not being called right now. I guess it is quite close to the end zone. Oof. Yeah, there's quite windy. I'm sure that you can hear the wind blowing on the camera. And, ooh, great defense. Great defense in the end zone there. Disc is being picked up once again. Finally finds the swing. Still trying to get out of their own end zone, which is quite difficult considering the conditions. And that is knocked away, and looks like yeah, that disc is going to be brought in, and just on the doorstep, and for a score. Yeah, that was quite a long point, certainly, for both of the teams. I'm sure that 2 fresh lines will be going on, and Right, apologies. I think there was a bit of a mix-up on our side, but regardless, yes. We see Jetset is going 2-0, and now finally Catchup is managing to find a score this time. Yeah, from Felgic to Knaili. Yeah, the previous point was quite a long one, 6.5 minutes. Yeah, that can be quite difficult also in windy conditions. That could be quite hard, of course, for both of the teams. But we see another pull, and oh yeah, looks like we also see some raindrops in the air. So difficult conditions, very windy conditions. Drop, oh, and yeah, rain. And we see a drop, an unfortunate drop from Jetset. And Catchup now have an opportunity to bring back to level taggings. Ooh, that was overthrown. Ooh, great grab. Nice sliding. Oh no, unfortunately that slipped off her hand. Looked like a good catch, but not this time. Jetset now, another opportunity for them. Oof. Tight channels, but moving this pretty well, and the long shot goes up. Well capped, and Jetset with another score in the end zone. Well held on to it. Good. Looks like Jetset is able to do is able to score on both sides of the field, regardless of the wind, and it was Lucia Pekarova to Charlotte van Gerven for the score of the Jetset side. Yeah, it looks like it's quite a cold day in Grenoble. Some of the players are trying to warm themselves up on the catch-up sideline, and yeah, but I'm sure that all of the players, of course, as soon as you get on the line, you're ready to play. And I'm sure that Catchup will be doing their best to bring back that score deficit. And another unfortunate drop for Jetset this time, so Catchup have an opportunity to have another opportunity to get another score on Jetset. Surveying her option, finds an upline cut and a long shot into the end zone. Well capped, very nice. Great flow, great timing for all of the cutters and the throws. Right, and Jetset with a very quick response there. Yeah, it looked like maybe it wasn't entirely in. However, it was called in on the field, and yeah, Jetset, another point for them, and the score is now 4-2. That previous point was scored by Nola Scholten and assisted by Shawnee Marchand. Yeah, Catchup are finding themselves in an early deficit. And Catchup now look a lot more composed and yeah, moving the disc around a lot better. Maybe the rain and the wind has died down a little bit, so Catchup are yeah, doing a lot better in that particular point. And oh no, that is a very unfortunate drop. But yes, it will be picked up by Jetset for another opportunity for a break, and that long shot is going up. And unfortunately, looks like we have a bit of a problem with the stream, so I can't really see the outcome of that long shot. Oh no, looks like it has been turned over, so Catchup have another opportunity for an offensive hold. They're moving the disc quite well, despite quite a lot of pressure on any of the possibilities for an advancing throw, as this wall of defenders, this zone is pushing them back, but handlers are doing a great job there. But this disc floats up, and that is still brought in by the offensive player, by the Catchup player, but the next throw, unfortunately, was maybe a bit of an errant one, and that is picked off by Jetset, so for a turnover and for an interception. And this time, though, the Catchup player says no and smacks it into the ground for a long shot, and unfortunately, yeah, it was a little bit misread. I think she started running into the slightly wrong space, but could not correct where she was going in time. Discus back with Jetset for another break opportunity. And unfortunately, yes, that opportunity for Jetset did not really come to fruition, and Catchup now another opportunity for a hold. And disc is near, very close to that near sideline, but it is, was a bit of an errant throw. Again, disc is floating a little bit and looks like an injury has been called, unfortunately, but by a Jetset player. So the replacement is coming up there. And yeah, looks like it was resolved rather quickly. Disc is still with Catchup. And yep, for a score. So Catchup is managing to hold on to this point over there. So Catchup are managing to find themselves another score, so bringing it a little bit closer, but still they will probably want a break to feel a little bit more comfortable in this game to bring it to the level pegging. So that was a very, very great attempt for a run-through defense, but Jetset for the moment are holding on to that disc pretty well. And lots of defensive pressure, maybe a little bit too much contact there on the challenge and that disc. Ooh, yeah. It did look like that the edge of that disc was shown to the wind too much, and that just sailed away from the reach of the defender, and that is a break by Catchup. So Catchup just picked up the disc, threw it into the end zone for a quick score, for a quick break. So Catchup, despite finding themselves in an early deficit, now bringing it back to level pegging. So 2 breaks for each of the teams. So that was Marlene Kansmeier to Sophie Dorr for a score. Sophie Dorr for the score. That rhymes. Hopefully she will score another point so I can coin that. Yeah, the conditions look quite windy in Grenoble, where this game is happening. And it also looks to be quite cold there. And oh no, that pool is going backwards and giving a Jetset a much shorter field. But yeah, good awareness by the Catchup player to stop this disc from rolling even closer to their defending end zone, to the end zone they are defending. Jetset now in the red zone, almost on the doorstep, surveying her options, but can't really find. Oh no, finds a perfect receiver all alone in the end zone for a nice forehand score. Looks like somebody left her mark slightly unguarded, and that was Ella Kromhecke to Esther Van Dijk for that score. So So we're on serve still, but Jetset, as they started the first point on offense, if I remember correctly, they are 1 point up, so it is 5-4. The game is going, yeah, pretty quickly. I mean, there were a couple of early points that were maybe a little bit difficult for both of the teams to handle, but regardless, looks like both of the teams have adapted a little bit to the conditions, to the wind and to the rain. It could be quite difficult, of course, but I'm sure that the experience of many of these players is going to help them to adapt to it. Catchup now, looking to score downwind. I think it's a downwind side. Looks like there was a bit of a stoppage. Was it a pick or a collision? Not entirely sure, but unfortunately for Catchup, that disc is turned over, so that is giving a Jetset an opportunity for a break. But now that is given back to Catchup, and they now are working the disc very quickly up the field, but now the defense is more or less set, but that goes into the end zone for a score. So another hold. Not a clean hold, but it is a hold nonetheless. Daniela Setina to Sophie Alder for that score. We are on serve, 5-5. Nice celebration by Catchup ladies, and yeah, despite losing the first opportunity to score, they still managed to find that other to create another turnover of the Jetset and finish the job on the second try. Now Jetset also going downwind, but yeah, that zone is looks to make things a lot more difficult, and that disc is sailing. Ooh, well taken, very well taken there by Silke de la Fortier, who's giving it back to her handler. Also goes back and finds a channel on the far sideline, upline. Surveying her option, goes back. Another swing and another swing. But they are now getting closer to their attacking end zone, finding some small channels going over the... Oh, unfortunately, that disc looks like it dropped in the wind unexpectedly for the receiver. And that was a difficult one to handle. And that gives an opportunity for Catchup to get into the lead for the first time in this game. That could be quite a difficult task. But no, that was knocked away as that disc went through the hands of the receiver and then got smacked into the ground by the Jetset defender into the end zone for a score for another hold. So it looks like both of the teams are generating the turnovers out of each other and managing to convert their offensive holds on the second try. They're still doing that, maybe not in a way they wanted to do it in the beginning, but as they drawn it up, but it is still happening. These are still offensive holds. Looks like a timeout has been called on the field. I'm gonna take a timeout myself, and we will be back in a few seconds. Don't go anywhere. And we are back into this game of Catchup and Jetset. Catchup now, starting their offense, going against the zone of Jetset. Looks like there is a bit of a problem with the stream. Apologies for that, and looks like that disc was thrown away, unfortunately, for the turnover. And Jetset will have another opportunity for a break, as they have had already one of them. Jetset going the other way, but still working hard to find any open players. Still, there are no advancing throws for the moment. No, there is one, but yeah, it looks like there is quite a lot of defensive pressure, but that is a great find on that sideline, on this near sideline. But player has to go back, and the long shot goes up. And unfortunately, with the fog, and yeah, we could not see the result of that. Now I'm pretty sure that the disc is still on that other side, and it is still with the Jetset. Yes, as we see the Jetset player there in the shot with the disc, but they're still trying to find the spaces and attack that end zone. And ooh, great break, and for another score, for another break for Jetset. So the score is now 7-5. Jetset have an opportunity to win the first half. As the games are played to 15, so half at 8. But I'm sure that Catchup will do their best to bring that to a galaxy point, of course, but to get to it, first they need to hold, then they need a break. They've broken the Jetset side once already, so it is possible for them, of course. But yeah, we will see, of course, what's going to happen. Jetset with the pull, fielded by Catchup players, a nice pull, quite a long one. And Catchup needs to go upfield. So we see that disc is slowing down to the end of its flight, but yeah, no real options are found, and unfortunately that was maybe a little bit behind the receiver, and that disc is going into the ground, and Jetset have an opportunity to win the half right here, right now, if they manage to get a clean break themselves, and that unfortunately bounces off the hands of the receiver, de la Fortier. Disc is picked up, and another defense by Jetset. Great heads-up play. Looks like she has read. She realized where the disc is going to be thrown before the receiver did, and managed to step in and knock it away. But then a miscommunication between the Jetset players is giving the disc back to Catchup players. Looks like the pick has been called on the field, but looks like it has been called somewhere else, while the defender who's going to be marking the disc has actually stopped as well. So yeah, just catching up to all of the disadvantage that has been created by that. And we're back in play. Catchup, very emphatic. Fakes there, and that forehand, yeah, maybe a little bit too difficult to handle for the Catchup receiver, and that disc goes into the ground. Another opportunity for Jetset, and no, not this time. Fortunately, that bounces off the hands as well, and Catchup once again with an opportunity for a hold, for an offensive hold. Another marathon point, quite a difficult one. But that disc is moving a lot better and a lot faster now. And ooh, despite the bid, yeah, she could not really find the height of the disc, and that just sailed past the beating hand of the Catchup player. Jetset, once again, an opportunity to win the half, but it has proven to be quite difficult one, as both of the teams are not allowing anything through. Near sideline, a swing, and a tight channel. Ooh, wow, great find. Very nice and visionary throw, I would say, for Jetset. Now on the doorstep, maybe some 8 meters behind the attacking end zone. Less than a meter. I think she's right on the line, but can't really find anything in the zone. Elects to go back and into the end zone for her receiver to win the first half of this game. Jetset is taking a rather commanding lead in the closing stages of the first half for an 2-break run and for an 8-5 score. We're going to take a quick break for the halftime, but we will be back in a couple of minutes for the second half. Don't go anywhere. And we're back for the second half of this game. And unfortunately, that second half is starting almost the same way as the first half was over for Catchup. Fortunately, there was a drop, and Catchup gave the disc to Jetset. However, Jetset were not able to hold on to the disc and gave the opportunity for an offensive hold back to Catchup. But there is another drop, unfortunately, and Jetset speaking up, surveying the options, finds an open handler behind her, another backwards throw, and oof, great grab on that far sideline. But looks like there is no continuation right now. Stall count is rising, and yeah, that was taken by the wind. But there was looks like there is a call, a stall out, judging by the hand signals. And that stall out. Not sure if it is accepted. Yeah, looks like it is. So that disc is picked up by Catchup on that far sideline rather than where it was turned over, rather where it hit the ground, as the stall out has happened before the throw. So Catchup now working their way up the field, and that is a little bit out of reach of the intended receiver. And that disc is given back for an opportunity for a break for Jetset. This last couple of points have been quite difficult ones for both of the teams. Multiple turnovers and quite a grueling point. And yeah, but looks like Jetset are coming up with these points a little bit more often than Catchup does. And the long shot now goes towards the end zone, but good awareness by the defender there to knock it away. So, and to earn an opportunity, another opportunity for a hold. Catchup now, moving this disc up the field quite well so far with no mistakes. A longer shot now goes up, but looks like the defense is right under it and manages to knock it away. Yeah, maybe not enough speed under that throw, but difficult conditions for sure. You can see the trees are moving in the background, so it is quite windy, of course, in Grenoble. Jetset now back on the counter attack. Ooh, that disc is sailing high, and is it going to be? No, that is definitely out of bounds. So Catchup now have short field to get this point into the end zone. And that they do pretty well. This time they are finding the rhythm quite well to finally get that offensive hold to themselves. Marlene Kanzmeier there with the throw to Sophie Dorr for the score. And the duration of that point was 7 minutes. It is the longest point of the game. It has been the longest point of the game. And I'm sure that all of the players were looking to get off the field and get some fresh legs onto the line. So the defenses would be coming on for Catchup and the offensive line would be coming for Jetset. And oh no, unfortunate knock just off the hands of the Jetset receiver. That gives an opportunity for Catchup for a break. Oh, they would love a break, I'm sure, as they are down by 2 breaks in this game at the moment. Getting one of them back would bring the game a lot closer and maybe put a bit of a pressure on Jetset. But unfortunately, that's not how it was supposed to happen, and that disc was hit the ground and gave a very short field to the Jetset offensive line. But Looks like a bit of a miscommunication, or maybe yeah, an early release of the disc, and that disc was thrown into the hands of the defender. And oh, whoa! Great awareness there by Catchup player to hold on to the disc after it was defended, but not into the ground. The disc was still in the air, and the Catchup player managed to hold on to it. Oh, great athletic grab, a very difficult reception there. But yeah, Catchup are now on the halfway point, but that is thrown away, and I think a bit too much of an edge was shown to that disc, and now Jetset wants to close this quite quickly, just a couple of throws, but no, too far out of reach for the Jetset. To the pair of the Jetset players. I'm sure that the players on the field are quite tired after running so many long points under very difficult windy conditions. But neither of them are giving an inch to their opponents. So of course, all of them want to win. As we know, all of these games, they matter a lot for the algorithm for the ranking system. Yeah, because every game that you play, they count towards the ranking system, they count towards the ranking, unless it is a blowout and the blowout rule is in play. I have been looking at the explanation from Ravi Vasudevan yesterday to figure out how does it all work, and yeah, it is quite an interesting system. But he explains it quite clearly. It is an interesting system. It is a complicated system, but I think if you play around with it, then yeah, it actually makes quite a lot of sense. So I recommend you to go and watch the recording of the live that Ravi did. It's called, I think, In and Out on the European Ultimate Federation.eu. It is explained pretty well there. And if you want to have a look at and play around with the system by yourself, then you can go to ranking.eu Ultimate Federation.eu, European Ultimate Federation, if I'm right, and have a look at the system yourself and how does it all work and how does it all look. But we're back in play. As you see, the Jetset have set their offensive line and their offensive sets, and we're back in play. This time the disc is moving around quite well. There are a lot more passes completed than there were in the previous possessions. Maybe just needed a bit of a break and a bit of a composure. But yeah, the spaces are hit, and it's a much nicer. Ooh, great grab there just near the end zone line, and the disc is sailing past the bidding player. but unfortunately that possession, that offensive possession is now given to the defense, and Catchup is trying to find another break, but that is also a bit of a miscommunication. Looks like the disc went a little bit too high, but once again that disc is thrown into the hands of the defender, and another defense, this time by Jetset. Jetset picking up the disc. Now need to work a little bit longer with a longer field, but that is thrown away, and that is a little bit too long. Yeah, once again, multiple turnovers in this point. Could be another very, very long point. Let's see if it's going to be longer than 7 minutes. It is possible, considering the timeout that was called during that point. Catchup now. Looking for the break once again. Moving the disc around the middle of the field. Difficult disc, but well held on to, and now getting close to that red zone. High disc, but again, great grab by the players, and close to the end zone now, maybe no more than 3 meters. Another swing, well capped, and into the end zone for a break by Catchup. So they get one break back for themselves, and that brings the game a little bit closer. It is now 8-7, Sandra Niley to Isabella Schultz-Wild. Yeah, that was a much longer point. It was 9 minutes. Anytime you hear an ultimate point lasting longer than 3 minutes, it could be considered a relatively long point, because some of the points are just 30 seconds long. As you've probably seen, the very first point of this game was only 30 seconds long. As Jetset was showing us how to run a perfect offense. However, in the later stages of this game, yeah, we can see that there are quite a lot of turnovers. The conditions are very difficult for all of the players. And, it is definitely quite hard for the players to deal with the conditions. Jetset now with the offense, and that disc is sailing too high and too far for Kromhecke, and this will be brought back by Catchup for another break opportunity. That is actually to equalize the score. So they have a great opportunity to bring back this game to level peggings. Of course, if they avoid making any mistakes. On the doorstep now, right on the line. Needs to go back and looking for a receiver, but unfortunately a miscommunication, and the disc is turned over in the end zone of the Jetset, who will be bringing that, of course, to the end zone line to start that offensive possession once again. Lots of pressure by the Catchup side. They're not really letting many things through. Also, we guess the conditions are not making it easy. But despite that, yeah, they're moving it pretty well now onto their attacking side. Very close to the end zone, maybe no more than 10 meters. But going back around the brick mark and into the end zone for the defender. So the defender manages to scoop up the disc and intercept it to start a counter attack. And another great grab there by the Catchup player. I apologize, it's very difficult to see the numbers of some of the Catchup players, as it is only the outline, and yeah, it could be quite hard to see. But yeah, another throwaway, unfortunately, for Catchup is giving an opportunity for Jetset for a hold. Looks like the rain has stopped, but I'm pretty sure that it's still windy in Grenoble, as the games, looks like the games in Grenoble have been affected by the wind quite a lot, as yeah, the discs are jumping in the air, and sometimes that makes the flight of the disc is quite unpredictable. But unfortunately, that maybe was just a low throw or maybe cold fingers, and the disc is given back to a defensive line of Catchup for another break opportunity. And that opportunity is taken. So that is 2 breaks in a row now for Catchup. The score is now 9-8. Yeah. Looks like I was going to say in the first half that Jetset look a lot more confident with the disc. However, I would probably say in the second half that it looks like Catchup side is a little bit more confident with the disc at the moment. Despite multiple turnovers on every side, I still think that Catchup is doing a little bit better. So, as I said, the score is now 9-8, and we probably have approximately 5 minutes left on the clock. So it would be quite an important point for the Catchup defense. If they manage to get another break, then it is very possible that we will have a universe point. Very possible. I'm not entirely sure how much time do we have left, but it might be pretty close to be over. The time might be pretty close to over. But Jetset looks like they have a different opinion and a different plan to that, because that is one of the clean holds, one of the rare clean holds that we've seen in this game. So the score is now 10-8, and we have approximately 5 minutes left on the clock. Thank you to our production team for providing me with that information. And what do we see on the field? We see the sun. The sun finally has come out after the rainy start of the game. A very windy condition. Looks like the weather has decided to just take a turn for better. Let's see who's going to be able to adapt to it better, which side, because as the wind dies down, maybe your throws are still more adapted to the windy condition, so it could be quite difficult to adapt to a calm condition once again. But let's see. Catchup now. Very close to their attacking end zone, but the pick was called, so some of the players were probably running through other players and got a bit obstructed and blocked, but regardless, Catchup still with the disc. Now on the doorstep, maybe 4 meters or so near the end zone, and that is a great throw, and yeah, great score for Catchup. Another clean hold. So as soon as the sun comes out, everybody's starting to play a lot more efficiently. It's very nice to see, of course. Joanna Dorr with the assist there to Marlin Keinsmeyer. Oh yeah, Marlin Keinsmeyer. She's been doing good things for Catchup in this game. She has 2 assists and 1 goal so far. She's a stat leader for Catchup, and Nola Scholten on Jetset, also 1 assist and 2 goals. So they both are on 3 points in this game. I wonder if they were marking each other during the game. Would be, of course, always interesting to see the very, very highly contested matchups. 10-9 is the score. We've got Jetset. Sorry. I think I've made a slight mistake earlier. But yes, that was Jetset with the score. So it looks like now we are trading clean holds, which is of course much nicer to see for everyone and a much more dynamic game. And looks like a timeout has been called on the field, as we are very close to the end of the game. (11-9) is the score. I apologize. To Jetset. Quite a short pool, so giving an opportunity, an easier maybe, somewhat easier opportunity for Catchup ladies to for the score. But that zone looks like to be stopping some movement up the field, but that is quickly broken with the quick movement of the disc, and now going the other way, all the way the other way with the flow to disc, but well kept and well read by Catchup. Disc is moving to the side, to the other side. Yeah, that's the perfect way to get the zone tired, get the zone moving. Just move the disc side to side. And if you see an open player for the advancing pass, take it. And that's exactly what they do for a score. Nice. Another clean hold. So we've had some difficult points, and now the sun comes out, and we have 3 clean holds by both of the teams. So yeah, these 2 teams are very, very closely matched. as you can see. So it is 11:10. I'm pretty sure that the time is almost over. And Catchup need a break. They need a break. If they want to bring it to the universe, they definitely need a break. And if they would get 2 breaks in a row, that would very likely it would actually bring them the game, considering that we have very small amount of time left on the clock. I'm sure that Catchup are putting their strongest line on at the moment, and yeah, looks like the wind is still affecting these pools. Ooh, that was very close, but well capped by Catchup players there. Moving the disc around the halfway mark, halfway point. And was that tipped by the foot? Maybe, maybe not. Regardless, the disc is still with the Catchup players, and that disc is swung in the red zone, maybe 5 meters away from the score. Another swing, going backwards a little bit. And another swing, playing patiently this time. Not really trying to push anything into the end zone. And another swing. And oh, that is taken by the wind, and that is a turnover. All that effort, unfortunately, is given to Catchup for an opportunity for a break and for a possible, I'm not entirely sure, universe point. Catchup now. Disc is on the far sideline, now advancing a little bit further. Ooh, difficult one-handed grab, but well kept. Oh, that disc looks like it maybe fluttered in the air a little bit, and a long shot by Jetset, and just out of reach. Just out of reach. That was very close to being a point. Catchup bringing in and trying to find that break once again. An equalizer, rather, to bring back the game to 11-11, but oh, slightly misread. That disc was slightly misread, and that gives another opportunity for a hold for Jetset. And upline shot, and now another long shot into the end zone, but again too far out of reach for the intended receiver. And that is an unfortunate throwaway for Catchup, giving the Jetset a very short field to work with. They are trapped a little bit on the sideline, but that is very possibly the... Ooh, that is a fancy throw. Nice high release backhand, but now surveying her options again, playing patiently, and oh no, too far out of reach for the receiver in the end zone. That gives, yeah, unfortunately they can't just finish it up. It's every time very close, but not quite in, so they can't really finish up the job and to punch that point in, while Catchup, yeah, they also have difficulties of converting these break opportunities. but let's see what's going to be the outcome of this possession. So far, Catchup, long shot, and yeah, slightly wrong edge was given to the disc, and that sailed away off the sideline. It's going to be brought by Jetset at the near sideline. No, a little bit further into the infield, and yeah. So, and right in the hands of the defender. Oof. Once again, multiple turnovers. Nobody wants to give an inch to the other team. Of course, this point is very important for Catchup, but quite as important for Jetset. And they finally score that very, very dirty, but a hold regardless for 12-10. Ella Komheke to Silke de la Fortier. There on your screens, and quite sure that the time is over, but we are playing to cap. Therefore, it is most probably a game to 13. So it's not a loss to catch up, but it is quite a tall task, I would say, to score 2 breaks in a row after a hold. I mean, we've seen clean holds out of the catch-up side. We've seen 2 breaks in a row out of the catch-up side, so I would not be surprised to see if that happens. But it could be quite difficult, especially considering the conditions, because they would need to score upwind as well, at least once. But crazier things have happened, as we like to say. Fortunately, this particular possession is ending up in a turnover, and the disc that was thrown a bit out of reach of the intended receiver, and that gives an opportunity for Jetset to finish this game. But that was thrown into the hands of the defender from the other team, and then a couple of passes into the end zone for a hold. 12-11 is the result at the moment, so game to 13. Sophie Felglic to Livia Justic were the authors of this point. And yes, we will. Of course, in Ultimate, we play to a target score. So this particular game, due to time restrictions, will be played to 13 points. So it's not over till it's over. So the winning team will always score. But catch up with the pool. They need to. Yeah, they need to break the. They need to break the Jetset side twice to win the game. That could be quite difficult. Of course, it is not impossible, but could be quite hard. And looks like, oh, yeah, Jetset had a very good opportunity to finish up this game, but fortunately that disc was sent a little bit too long and maybe slightly misread. I think the bit was there. I think it was possible to lay out for this disc and to finish this game. That would be quite a stylish finish for this game, but that has not happened, unfortunately. And now Catchup are going the other way. Very, very nice leading pass. Almost half the field is covered. More than half the field is covered. And now another opportunity. Is she going to send another deep shot? No. Elects to swing. And another swing. And a long shot. And a slightly wrong edge. But whoa. Well held on to that disc. I thought that the receiver there has misread it slightly. But well done. Very, very nice. Very, very nice catch there in the end zone. We are 12-12. Universe point. Very nice. Great. So do or die for both of these teams. Jetset have to score their offensive point upwind. Considering the windy conditions, I might say that it might be a little bit easier for Catchup ladies to do it, as they just did the difficult part, scoring upwind. Now they have another difficult part, generating another turnover out of the Jetset side. But then it might be a slightly easier task of scoring downwind. So we will see what's going to happen. That previous point was scored by Lena Ortner. Well done by her for holding on to this disc, and it was assisted by Joanna Dorr. That's a great pull all the way to the end zone, and Jetset now are starting their offense in this universe point, moving the disc around side to side for now. No real opportunities for an advancing pass. Another, ooh, lots of pressure, and yes, that pressure has been rewarded with a turnover, and now Catchup. Opportunity to win this game after trailing during the whole game. Actually, they were never leading this game. But this opportunity, unfortunately, has not came to fruition, and the disc is given back to Jetset, who have been leading actually during the whole game. Yeah, they were never behind. So let's see if the pressure was a little bit too much for them in the end of the game, but it is possible because they just threw it into the hands of the Catchup player, into the defensive player, so not to their teammate. Catchup now surveying the options, being calm, but unfortunately a throwaway in the end zone. Oof, that's a nail biter. Timeout has been called. Wise choice, I think. I think Jetset need to find something. Maybe get some structure into this last point of the game. Oof. Exciting. Very exciting game. Very, very exciting game. I was actually wondering what were the previous results for both of these teams. Oh, it looks like it is. Oh no, Jetset won against Queen Kong, their previous game, and Catchup won against Solebang, their previous game, quite decisively, 15-2. So both of them are coming up from a win. And yeah, that is definitely a much closer matchup than the previous games of both of the sides. And, yeah, going to be quite an important result, I'm sure, for both of these teams. As we see, the offense is, as we see, both teams are getting ready for being setting up after the timeout. Jetset will set first and set their offensive set. Catchup will set their defense. We will check the disc and get started. Let's see what's going to happen. Catchup. Sorry, Jetset. Moving the disc around, but moving back to their own end zone. Opportunity for Callahan, maybe, for Catchup? We'll see. Now the disc is centered, but still in their own end zone. Now finally getting out of that end zone with an advancing pass. And a long shot. Well caught. By Esther van Veek.